Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chapter 8 Review. Now we're going to be taking a test over all of Chapter 8, and it has been a while since we have covered the beginning stuff in this chapter, so I wanted to provide a video to show you the stuff that we covered, the stuff that you already know. I just want a little refresher over it, and then we'll be ready to go for that test. So let's start things off with find the sum or difference. Sum or difference, remember, is we're adding or subtracting. Be very careful here, guys. Pay attention to the sign in front of your parentheses, because when it's a plus, we can just go ahead and drop everything outside of the parentheses, right? Because we've been multiplying for so long that sometimes we're starting to distribute, but now when we're adding, go ahead and just drop it out. Now, we have to find all of our like terms, so my y squareds, where are all my y squared apples? I have 4 there, so I have 8y squared apples. Next, I'm looking for my y, so what kind of oranges do I have? I have 3 oranges there, I have -7 oranges there, so I have -4 y oranges. And then finally, my numbers, here I have 7, here I have another -2, so then I combine those to get a -9. Now with the negative, it is very important, we are subtracting this, with the negative, that we change all the signs behind the negative. So I'm going to drop those out of the parentheses right away and change those signs. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to be very careful when we are adding and subtracting. We're not distributing anymore. We're going to change the signs. So I changed all those signs, bring the front ones out, 7m squared plus 3m minus 4. Now we can start combining like terms. What are my same fruits? Well, I have those two to get 4m squared. What else do I have? I have a 3m and a -9m to get a -6m. And then finally, I have -4 and I have a +5, so I get +1. So now we're actually finding the product here. See how there's no addition or subtraction sign between the parentheses? So now I'm actually multiplying. So I'm going to take this guy, this whole thing, times here to get a 6x to the 4th, and then y, because we add our exponents, and then you have to take 3x squared times this guy, please remember, multiplying our numbers to get -15. We have to add up our exponents to get x to the 3rd, and then finally here times there to get a plus 24x squared. With number 4, what does this square mean? Well, that square means that we have 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2. When we have two binomials, right here, when we have two binomials, we have to take this guy, we have to FOIL it, right? Take this guy times there to get a 9x squared. Then we take that guy times there to get a plus 6x. Then we have to take the middle guys here times there to get a plus 6x. And then we have to do the last guys to get a plus 4. Simplifying like terms, simplify the guys in the middle to get a 12x. Bring down everything else that you did not use. 9x squared plus, and then a plus 4. Final answer right there. To number 5 now, and here we are asked to solve. When we are asked to solve with an equal sign, we will have a letter equaling a number. We will actually have a numerical answer when we're asked to solve. So let's go ahead and try this. Here it's in front of the parentheses. There's no addition or subtraction sign between the parenthesis and the number, so we're going to multiply. We're going to multiply to get a -18n plus 12 equals, and what's that equal? Again, there is no addition or subtraction in front of parentheses, so I multiply a -28 minus 8n. Ladies and gentlemen, be very careful here because everything is on the opposite side of the equal sign. So I'm going to take this 18n and then I'm going to add it over there. So it's going to be plus 18n plus 18n. So now I get, over here I get a positive 10n and then a -28 plus sign because it's positive, and that equals 12. Now I have to add this over to the other side, so I get 40 equals 10n, and so now all we have to do is divide by 10, and so n equals 4 for your answer. See, when I solve, I have an equal sign for my answer. Now for 6, we are asked to factor what we have been doing for the past couple weeks now. So when we factor, what can you take out of your numbers? Start with your numbers. Well, I can take a 5 out of my numbers. How about your letters? What can I take out of my letters? I can take out a single A, just one A. How about B's? I can take out just one B. So I have 5AB that I take out. Now I set that on the side. Inside, now we divide. So 35 divided by 5 is 7. A squared divided by A is A. B divided by B is 1. I don't need to put that down. Minus 45 divided by 5 is 9. A divided by A is 1. I'm not going to write it down. B divided by B is 1. So now our final answer is that right there, right, in factored form. Moving on. Now we have something with 4 terms, a polynomial with 4 terms. What do we have to do with 4 terms? Well, we have to start grouping, right? There's nothing that we can take out of every single term, so we start grouping. So in this left one, what can I take out? I can take out an x, and then I'll be left with a 3y minus 4. How about the right guy? What can I take out? I can take out a positive 2, so I'll be left with a 3y minus 4. Do we have anything alike in those parentheses? Yes, we do, absolutely, so I take that out. I set it down, 3y minus 4. What am I left with? I am left with here and here to get x plus 2. Number 8. Now we have 3 terms. So when we have 3 terms, what do we have to do? No number in front of here, so we can just go ahead and say what multiplies here adds up to that. So numbers that multiply to a positive 24 but add up to negative 11. Well, since it is positive but adds up to a negative, I know that both of my numbers have to be negative. So if I go 8 and 3, yes, it does multiply to negative 24, but it adds up to a positive 11. We make them both negative. They now add up to a negative 11, still multiplying to a positive 24. So let's just go ahead and put them in our parentheses. T minus 8 times the quantity, T minus 3, final answer. Number 9. Now, again, 3 terms. First, ask yourself, can we take anything out on number 9? Yes, we can. We can take out a 4 out of all of our numbers. So we take it out. We are left with 2n squared minus 9n plus 10. Now, we are left with a 2, right, in front of this n squared. So what do we have to do? We have to take this 2 and take it times the 10 to get 20. Then we have to see what multiplies up to a positive 20 but adds up to a negative 9. That's going to be a negative 4 and a negative 5. So then we break apart our parentheses, putting a 2n in front of both parentheses, and a 2n, and then a 4, and then we put minus 5 and minus 4 in both sets of parentheses. However, we have one too many 2's, so we have to take out a 2. Can I take out a 2 here? The answer is no. Can I take out a 2 here? The answer is, you guessed it, yes, so we can take a 2 out. Dividing that 2 out, so it's going to be a n minus 2 from this guy, bringing along my 4, and then bringing along that guy that I did not touch, 2n minus 5, for your final answer because I took out a total of 2. Number 10. Now we only have 2 terms. Again, ask yourself this question. What can you take out to start with? Looking at my numbers, I know I can take out a 2. Now I have an x to the 4th and an x squared. What can I take out? I'm going to take out that whole thing. I'm going to take out that x squared. What am I going to be left with? 2x to the 4th divided by 2x squared leaves me with x squared. And then 18 divided by 2 leaves me a 9. X squared divided by x squared is 1, so I'm not going to write that down. Can we factor what's in the parentheses? What times itself is going to give you x squared? That's going to be an x and an x. What times itself is going to give you 9? That's 3, and 3 plus 3 minus 3. Bring down what you did not use to x squared. Perfect answer right here. Two more. Hang in there, guys. Number 11. Now we are asked to solve again. We have it set equal to 12n. That means there's going to be an equal sign in our answer. So with something like this, the very first thing we have to do is move everything over to the other side, making this side 0. So with number 11, we subtract the 12n to get 8n squared minus 12n, because I want to get it to the same side as all the other terms, plus 4 equals 0. Now, is there anything that I can take out of here? Yes, there is. There is a 4. I put it down. I put it outside my parentheses. Inside my parentheses, after dividing out that 4, I'm left with a 2n squared minus 3n plus 1. That all equals 0. Now, remember, with something in front of your squared term, we have to take this 2 times the guy in the back. So I'm going to take this 2 times the guy in the back to get 2. I need multiples that multiply to 2 but add up to a negative 3. That's going to be negative 2, negative 1. So I break my parentheses apart, put 2n in front of both parentheses. Then I go minus 2. I go minus 1, bring down the 4 that I did not use. That equals 0. Now I have an extra 2 left out. So I have to take out a total of 2. So from this guy, because I cannot do it to this guy, I'm going to take out a 2 from here. So I'm dividing out that 2. Here I'm going to be left with a n minus 2. Bring down the 4 that I did not use, and the 2n minus 1 equals 0. Now it equals 0, right? We're not factoring, it equals 0. So I'm going to set both of my parentheses equal to 0. So it's n minus 2 equals 0. And it also is this guy, 2n minus 1 equals 0. We do not have to set the 4 to 0 because there is no variable attached there. So here, n is 2. Here I add over the 1, so it's 2n equals 1. Divide by 2, n equals 1/2. So your two solutions are to this problem, n equals 1/2, n equals 2. And then finally on 12, what do we have to do? Well, there's no middle term, so I'm going to check 49. What multiplies to 49? What times itself multiplies to 49? 7 and 7. Interesting. How about 25? 5 and 5. Perfect. When you have something like that, we can break that 49 apart into 7 and 7 going into the front of our parentheses. And then what multiplies to 25? That is a positive 5 and a negative 5. Sorry, a negative 5 and a positive 5. Set equal to 0. When we have this, remember, set both parentheses equal to 0. So it's 7w minus 5 equals 0. 7w plus 5 equals 0. Add the 5 over, or actually subtract the 5 over here. So it's 7w equals negative 5. And then w equals a negative 5/7 for one of your answers. And then here add it over. So 7w equals 5. Divide by 7. W equals 5/7. So our two answers, w equals 5/7 and w equals a negative 5/7. If there was a number here, say there was a 4g right here, just for right now, say there was a 4g. There's not, but say there is. So you would set 4g also equal to 0 and solve by dividing by 4, so g equals 0. Just running through a quick example right there. It's not a part of the problem. But that does it for Chapter 8, or Chapter 8 test review. Good day.